Okay, this first lecture is Sanskrit. Okay, great. Great. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Doing all right. Thank you. Thanks for being on time. You will see, I am very much a we start on time kind of thing, so we can end on time, because I will always end on time to respect your time, and I just expect the same in return, that we can start on time, that you respect our time and each other's time for those who show up. So pass the word on to the rest of the team. It's one thing to be in communication. I know if there's like an accident or something random happens, but it's just, there's a lot of content for us to cover when we do this stuff, and we want to give each other time. So wait, we got to fix this. So we're doing a half circle here. So
I'm sorry.
so just either find a hole or, yeah, great. Yeah, either way, or yeah, there's room, there's a spot right there. Okay, perfect. So welcome to Sunday. So we are combined with intensive and extended today. My name is Laura Lance. I'm one of the leads of the program. So you will see me throughout the whole program. There'll be chunks where I'll be around a lot. Sometimes you won't see me for a hot minute. It kind of ebbs and flows, and I cover a lot of topics. And this training, we have, I don't know how it just worked out this way, but there's a lot of teach outs happening. So Missy's teaching out Sanskrit this lecture today. I'm going to be here to support her kind of through it all. As you may have heard this already, but we have interns in the program for the different lectures. So you'll see other interns as well as it kind of goes along. Mika will be coming a little bit later. She's interning for some of the other stuff. So I'm kind of off to the side, but I also can't help myself. I always have to talk at some point in time. Let's see. As we do this, I'd love for us to just go around the room, say your name and which program that you're in, just so we can kind of start to get faces to names. We try to learn everybody's names as we go along. Okay, great.
Hello, my name is Mariah, and I'm in the extended.
Mariah, okay.
My name is Christina, and I'm in the intensive program.
Okay.
I'm Maggie, and I'm in the intensive program.
Oh, you're an observer. Okay, yeah.
I'm Jocelyn, I'm in the intensive program.
I'm David, and I'm in the extended.
Extended, okay, great.
I'm Jake, and I'm in the intensive.
Okay.
I'm Anna, I'm in the extended. I'm Reva, I'm in the intensive program.
Okay.
Mel, extended. Sal, intensive. Lotus, intensive.
Joshua, intensive.
Lily, intensive.
Jacob D.
Okay.
Ethan, intensive.
Okay, great. All right.
And I'm Missy, and I'm just Missy. Teaching Sanskrit today.
Great. I'm gonna just turn this over. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so we are going to start out our Sanskrit lecture with oming together 3 times. If you are new to chanting om or don't feel comfortable quite yet, you're welcome to just listen in. But it's just a good way for us all to start and get grounded and begin our day. So I invite you to close the eyes or take a soft gaze. Maybe the hands draw into your heart center. Let's start with a long, full, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Inhale to prepare. Om. 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 Thank you, everyone. How do we feel about Om? How did it feel to chant Om? How did things change?
I just had that feeling of like gratitude, just because, just that a sense of connectedness and being with people.
Okay.
Maybe starting with the chant, excuse me, my voice is physically, but maybe starting with the chant also with that openness to receive whatever's going.
So, anything else?
Felt connected to some here.
Yay. Good.
So
Yeah, yoga is all about union. Yeah, so I know we just did a check-in with our names, but I'd like to go around and just and I want you to say your pronouns, she, her, they, them, and how you feel about Sanskrit, if you have experience with Sanskrit, kind of that sort of thing. We'll start right over here.
So, pronouns, she, her, and,
Say your name again too, just
Yeah.
that will
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah.
Repetition's nice. for us.
Yes.
There's a lot, there's more of you than us, so.
so cute. Sorry, my name's Mariah, she, her, and, I'm very new to Sanskrit, somewhat familiar, but.
Christina, she, her, and as well, very new to Sanskrit, but it's learning some more.
Maggie, she, her, I guess kind of a smattering of Sanskrit from looking at the classes and books, but nothing comprehensive and nothing that kind of knits it together and makes sense. Excited about.
Jocelyn, she, her, basically exactly what she said, like random poses, I'll remember like the Sanskrit term for them, but other than that, I think I can consider really understanding. That makes sense.
David G. Him, I sometimes recognize the pose when someone else does it in Sanskrit, but I couldn't, like, if I wanted to say a pose name myself, I would.
Yet,
Yes.
just yet.
Jake, he, him, very new to Sanskrit and then those names in classes.
Anna, she, her. Kind of read about it in books and things like that, but for some reason I have a really hard time retaining.
New language is hard. Yeah, it just takes time. Yeah.
Reva, she, her. I know very little, but I'm very eager to learn more and I love learning new
Yay.
no, she, her, and no
How, she, they,
Sal, them, and what everybody else said. Lotus, them, very similar to what Reba said. I am very unfamiliar with it. I could name like one pose.
Which pose?
Horse pose. And oh my goodness, now I'm all flustered.
Shavasana.
Yeah, I'm in front of people for
Yeah.
the first time. I'm like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm very excited to learn
Cool.
more.
Yay.
Joshua. Him, and I only know what I've heard. So it would be nice to finally learn a little bit more and then connect, what I've been hearing to what I'm teaching.
She, her, relatively.
Jacob, he, him. I am kind of on the same page as Eric and Jocelyn with Sanskrit.
Ethan, he, him, and other than in class, very good.
Cool. All right, nice. So kind of all on the same page, like nobody's a Sanskrit scholar, and that's okay. I'm not. And so it's always just like our yoga practice. It's always a practice as long as we remain in openness to it and keep learning, keep trying to do the best we can in it, and not completely butchering it. We'll get into that as well. I think that we're still honoring the lineage of yoga. So starting with the word Sanskrit itself, does anyone want to say in their own words? Like would you feel comfortable with saying this word as it looks to you? Sanskrit, exactly. But in the Sanskrit language or in the pronunciation, this A, we're going to dive deep into specifics, but the A is actually said as a sound. So sun, and then the I is long, so it's actually pronounced Sanskrit. There's a little roll of the R, just a tiny little skrit. And so, just starting with that first word, saying it off the top, Sanskrit. Repeating is good. We encourage repeating it. So Sanskrit is a very organized language, has very clear rules. And when we're learning it, we're just basically dipping our toes into the water. It's very vast, but it is organized. It's very clear. And so unlike, let's say, English, that's why it's very hard to learn English if it is your second language. It's because so many words have very different meanings, but they look the same, and different rules apply to the same vowels, and sometimes you drop the E and add the Y, and just there's a lot of chaos going on in this language. But with Sanskrit, it's a lot more refined, a little more clear as far as the rules go. So yeah, why would we want to learn Sanskrit? Yeah, definitely.
To understand where it came from, to understand where it is now, right?
I would also say that it's so that you can carry it over to different styles.
Oh yeah, like hot yoga. If you've ever taken hot yoga, almost all the poses, most teachers say all the poses in Sanskrit, as well as Ashtanga, and a few other lineages are all in Sanskrit. Yeah, anything else?
Another dimension as well. Face value, see that.
Exactly. Cool. Well, it's different from any other language. It's a vibrational language, which means the word is exactly what the object is saying it is. So they're one and the same. So the word is the vibration or the essence of the object. Does that make sense? So like, for example, when we think of an apple is just an apple, but what do you picture when you see an apple? Yeah, like there could be a lot of different things. You can think of a phone, or you can think of an actual apple, but Sanskrit is the essence of what the word is. Like in Trikonasana, triangle pose, that Trikonasana is the essence of the pose. That makes sense. All right. I'm going, where's my pen? All right. So have we all seen this word before? How do we say this word? Nice. Yeah. Asana. And so this word means to sit, to take a seat or a comfortable seat. So every time we say this word, we are invoking our students to come to a comfortable seat. And that's even in Utkatasana or Trikonasana or any other pose that might not feel like a comfortable seat. That is still the essence. Every yoga pose ends with asana, and it is the essence of taking a comfortable seat within each pose. When we say the front part of the word, like Bhujangasana, cobra pose, we are invoking the essence of a cobra, or like a warrior or a rabbit. Whatever the pose is, we're invoking the essence into our body, into the words that we speak. So that is sort of the vibration of are Sanskrit. Oh, we forgot the accent. Oop. We'll go over these dictation marks, but basically they're little clues to help us know how to say the word correctly and where to put the emphasis in the word. And then a little bit of history. So it was kind of came about in 4th century BC is when it came around. It was originally uncovered by ancient rishis and sages who were deep in meditation, and the sounds of Sanskrit came to them. And what is beautiful about it, it's very structured. And when it came to them in meditation, they found the alphabet, and it sort of started through the back of the mouth, and they moved forward, up and out, as do the consonants. So it's a very full body language where we're kind of using it from the belly up through the heart space and out through the top of the head to kind of invoke this full wave of breath and movement within the language itself. And part of that vibration, it taps into the energy centers of the body. So when we talk about chakras and the subtle body, as you go further down your white TT road, the language of Sanskrit lights up these energy centers, and it's supposed to be very powerful, and not just something we're just simply just saying just to say. Yeah, so if you go to page 18 in your manual, 1.6, you're going to see 2 different charts. Is everybody there? All right. So on the left, you're gonna see, oh gosh, can you help me say the word?
Oh, Devanagari.
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 Devanagari. And it's going to kind of on the right side, you're going to see basic pronunciation, and then you'll see the squiggles on the side, and that is going to be Devanagari, the actual lettering. And so the chart on the right is the transliteration. And so you can see how they connect one to the other. And so with that, we'll get into that a little bit further, but just kind of talking about how, you might have heard Sanskrit spoken in yoga classes or in different places. There's a lot of mispronunciation that can happen. And it definitely speaks to your experience as a teacher. Asana, for example, you might have heard it before as asana. Who's heard it as asana? Handful. And we're not in asana. We like the sauna, but we're not in one. And so it's being important to know that this A with this accent mark is a asana. It's not I can't even say it. It's really hard once you kind of take that out of your brain. Another one that you could hear very often is shavasana, but I've heard shavasana or or savasana or yeah. So when you hear that and you know better, it's kind of like, oh, like kind of doesn't resonate in the same way, it kind of takes you out of your practice, if you will. But I always, at the same time, like, I'm not saying you should go around to every class and judge every teacher. Like, yoga is like a big lobby, and some people have gone up into different floors of this lobby, and some people have just stayed right in the lobby, right in the front doors of it. And so that's okay. And knowing that everyone's in a different place with it. So just wanted to put that out there too. So I am not perfect at Sanskrit. I will say that for sure. I do my best, and there is all these online resources too that can help you out as well. Where you can hear native speakers and hear their pronunciation. There's also lots of mantras online on YouTube where they repeat the mantras over and over and over again for like 2 hours. And those are really nice to actually hear them say words and just repeat it with them if you're like ever in your car stuck in traffic. It's also just meditative and nice so you don't scream at people. So yeah, I do make mistakes, so there's that too. And Saraswati is the goddess of language and learning. And so you need tapas, that endurance to get through it and to want to learn and to push through those uncomfortable moments with it and get to memorize. It does take memorization. So using that part of the brain that uses repetition and just kind of exploration. And there are also many dialects within Sanskrit. So in a training I did once, there is a teacher, she was talking about how you never say the A after your poses, like Tadasan or Shavasana. And that, you know, confused me at first, but then I learned that you know, just like the United States, English in the South is not the same as is in New York City or the Pacific Northwest or in Texas. It's gonna have a little different differentiation and different you know, accent and different things. So just because someone's saying it a little different doesn't mean it's not necessarily wrong all the time. It's just different parts of India. It's a very big country. All right. It is a member of the Indo-European language family. So it is a sister language of Persian, Greek, and Latin. And the sister languages of Latin are Greek, Germanic, English, Celtic, Slavic, and most European languages. So that's interesting to kind of just know of, because there's a lot of overlap with some words. Like, is there an accent somewhere? I can't remember.
No, I think
Okay, it's just right there. Okay, so who has seen this word before? Yeah. Do you want to say it? Sutra? Yeah. Okay, so sutra, we have our Yoga Sutras, and sutra means to stitch, and to stitch or thread together. And so our Yoga Sutras, we're weaving philosophy together, and it's sort of similar to suture, which is where a doctor brings the body back together, it weaves together. So there is an overlap within different words. So some of the words might sound similar, like a trikonasana, you know, it's similar to the way we say three, as well as in other languages, there's always that three within it. So there is some overlap. So it's not completely, I think it's helpful when it comes to memorization. It's not like I learned Vietnamese once and nothing correlated to anything else that I've ever made sense of in my mind. So it made it a really hard language for me to learn. All right, so it's also started as an oral language. So it was passed down from teacher to student, and they learned the words before they knew exactly what it meant. And so they noticed how it felt when they said the word. And as you start to learn Sanskrit, as we go into practicing together, notice how it feels in your body as you say it, how you settle into it and the vibration of it. It's and see if you notice that kind of pull from the belly up through the heart, through up and out through the mouth. And if you feel that wave, that rhythm as you start saying these words. And keep in mind, as you dive deeper into your yoga training, and maybe I hope that this isn't your only training you ever do. A lot of times we get addicted to trainings after 200 hours, like, I want more, I want more. But as you start diving deeper, you'll start to read more classical yoga texts. Maybe you already have, like the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras and more. You're gonna see these words pop up within the context of these books. And it's just really fun because you're like, oh, I know that. I know why there's that word and why it's connecting to this. And it's like finding little cookie crumbs within your yoga journey, and then you just continue to learn more, and you'll learn how the root of words can mean what it means based on how you've learned to pronounce it, if that makes sense. It'll make sense as we get further along. Okay, so that's a little bit of history. We have the alphabet. There is 49 letters 46 letters and 49 sounds in Sanskrit. And it's one of 22 official languages in India. And it has some variations of it are the same as Hindi. And it's used a lot for mainly religious and scientific discourse. It's also a living language. So yoga and mantra. And who has chanted before different Sanskrits? A few of you have. Yeah, and you've all chanted Om, so you should all be raising your hands. Like, I've never done it. Like, I know you have for sure. So it is the language of awareness and pranic intention. And as you see in our 1.6, that first page in our handbook, page 18, it can be transliterated with the Roman alphabet we have the dots above letters, and then we have dashes. So those help us to have clues in how to pronounce the different words within each consonant and vowel. Yeah. So I am going to erase this. Doing all right so far? It's a lot of information. All right. Some. All right, so some means together. My handwriting is not great. Together. And then three means to do or make.
It's not some.
Yes, so the root of the word some. Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the root of the word
Root
is
of
some.
some. Yeah.
When it comes together though, then it shifts.
Yeah.
It's a Sanskrit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was
Your mind was blown for a second.
like, there's no way I would sit here looking at an ad the whole time.
No, the root of the word is M, and then when you put the whole word together, it changes. Yeah, so some together, create, to do, or make. And then when you put it together, you can't see it. I can move this up from. Okay, so when you put it together, some scree, it turns to adorn, refine, and form well. To adorn, refine, polish, and form well. So the full word,
Dots under the R's again.
sorry,
If we're gonna do.
okay. And so when we put Sanskrit all together, when you take the root of both words, it's considered to be a polished and well-formed language. So that's what the root of Sanskrit. Yeah, so it's yeah, so this one right here, it's to adorn, refine, polish, and form well. Yep. And then Sanskrit, the whole word as we know it, it's to consider to be polished and well-formed language. And there's just very, like we were talking about, the essence, the word is the essence of what it is. So Sanskrit, it's the language, but it means the essence of what it is, which is to be a polished, well-formed language, which it is. It's not lying, it's telling the truth.
I think I've heard of the word samskara, is that a word?
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
kind of means the same thing.
Similar. yeah.
Similar,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like refining. It's like refinement, samskaras. Yeah. You'll get into samskaras later.
Don't
TBD.
you worry.
TBD.
All
Amber has a whole talk on those.
right.
Uh-huh.
Is it in 200 hour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
All right. I know you also get into it in 300 hour. That's what I asked. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our little charts we have on page 18. All right, so the chart on the left with the symbols is the Devanagari.
Not
Nagari. See, I make mistakes too. It is the common script of Sanskrit. And there's always that line over the top of the symbol. And so you'll see the first one is Om. So you probably have seen Om before, maybe tattooed on somebody's body or on a t-shirt or a water bottle. You see it everywhere. Nagari or Devanagari is the language of the gods. So that's just a beautiful thing to know. And the transliteration on the right, you will see the lines and the dashes above and below the letters. Those are dialectical marks to give you hints to access different parts of your mouth. And so these are accessing different parts of the mouth that we don't use in English, where when we speak English, it's very forward in the mouth. We're not really kind of accessing that guttural sound, that roof of the mouth. It's all very forward, front of the lips. And so that's kind of the difference with it there. I mean, one of the differences. But that helps you to know where to put the emphasis in the words. And then the top three lines. So the top three lines in black, and then if you look at the top three lines in black on the other side too, those are all the vowels. And so you'll see the A, the I, the U, okay, familiar, fine. And then you see R's and L's, and you're like, wait, that's a vowel? But it is in Sanskrit. And they are the more challenging ones to say, so we'll learn how to say those. And then if you move down into rows 1 through 5, you're gonna see the consonants. And then into the symbols below, this is what the alphabet looks like, so on the left side. So you'll see what it all looks like all together. Cool. I gotta take a drink before I get into the pronunciation of all these vowels.
Well, with this, the symbols are called again?
Yeah, the Devanagari.
Yeah.
You can write it.
Okay.
It's DEVA. NAGARI, and then there's a line over the A, the second A. And the I. Well, it's all one word.
Yeah, it's all one word. I just happened to write it like that.
Deva means gods, goddess. Or God. Devi is goddess, Deva, God.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. It's good there.
So how would you say the last part there?
This one? Nagari.
Nagari.
Devanagari.
Devanagari. Oh, say it all together.
Wait,
Devanagari.
Take that A out, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I was like, that's not right, yeah. There. No silent A's.
Devanagari.
What is the stuff below you? If tops are down.
It's also a diacritical mark. Just the same. It's all about where the tongue is positioned in the mouth, and we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, we're actually getting into it right now. So take a sip of water just so that we have the mouth ready for action.
That's right, I didn't know the one. 125 is the.
Oh,
125 is the consonant.
Oh, these are sibilants, so these are they're still letters.
Mhm.
They're just different letters.
Mhm. Yeah.
But we have them broken up so that it's just like vowels, consonants, and then sibilants. Does that make sense?
okay. All right, so we're gonna go through the mouth positions. So you'll see on the chart on the right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are gonna correspond to the mouth positions you see just below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those this chart's really nice because you'll see like on line 1, all the consonants there are guttural, next row palatal, and so on and so forth. So looking at that guttural one, back of the throat. So that's that g sound. So you kind of place the tongue, sort of the mid tongue, to the back of the throat and make a g, 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 g. It's a harsh g sound. All right. And then the next one we have palatal, back of the throat with the tongue with a slight smile, and it's hard on the palate. So it's that cha, cha, cha. Yeah, like chakra, chakra. It's a harsh, it's not chakra, it's chakra. Yeah. And then we have retroflex cerebral, which is curl the tongue to touch the roof of the mouth. So we don't use this one in English. So it's a harder one to kind of get your mind around, but it's a tongue at the roof of the mouth, and it sounds like this. Duh, duh, duh. Yeah, and that's kind of when you really press the tongue to the roof of the mouth and push it out. Duh. You hear that little bit of Indian accent with it. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that one. And then we have dental, the tongue between and behind the teeth. So it's a harsh duh as well, but it's more firm and airy. So it's like duh, duh, duh. That's right? Duh.
It's actually touching your teeth, whereas in English,
Duh.
we don't, like when we say
Duh.
teeth, like your
Duh.
tongue still doesn't go that
Duh.
far forward, so it's
Duh.
even more
Duh.
forward. in
Like
Sanskrit.
try saying dad, but with the tongue at the teeth. Dad, dad.
Dad.
It's weird.
See how that's
Dad. Yeah. And then lastly, labial. So it's at the lips. So this one's the easiest one for us because we have a lot of our English words right here, like pa, pa. So yeah. So that is kind of where the tongue is. So does anybody need to hear those like examples again? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So guttural, g, g. So I have it spelled on my like phonetical, like capital G U H H H, g, g. And then palatal, root of the mouth, cha, 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 yeah. And then retroflex cerebral is roof of the mouth, the one that has that sort of little bit of Indian accent. Ooh, topple. It's duh, duh, duh. Yeah, yeah. And then we have the tongue at the teeth. Duh, duh. It's more airy, more firm than just dad, for example. And then labial, right at the lips. Pa, pa. Yeah. Cool.
And it journeys, right? You just think of journey.
Yeah, you go through the journey from the back of the mouth all the way to the top, the front of the mouth. So we're utilizing the full range of the mouth, which is kind of cool because it's more exercise for a mouth. It doesn't give us a chance to be lazy with our words. It's almost just like we're practicing asana yoga in the mouth. It is part of a whole physical movement, just using the words in itself. Yeah, so if you go down to page 19 for a second, thank you. You're gonna see a little bit of pronunciation tools. You have a little guide there. So this is also helpful when you're looking at the different letters. It gives you the way that vowel or consonant sounds within a word. So you have that, just like asana, it's cut, ka, it has that sound. And then with the line over the A, it's mom. So it's a sound. Make sense? Okay. And then the I with the line over it is a E sound. Beat. And then the U with without a line is a soft U. It's put. And then when you put the line over it, it's a little more harsh. It's ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. And then R, ring. R is just a R. And then this one,
Ri.
Ri.
Ri. Ri.
Ri.
Ri. Ri.
Ri.
So it's the rolling of the tongue a bit, but it's
Okay.
a ri is the first one, and then you add the line and ri. You make it a little bit longer. It's a trill, kind of, yeah. It's better when it's like Sanskrit. Like, you know, it's like it's better when you. Some of these are easier in a word than just like on its own.
Yeah, I'm just Spanish. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can do that, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I speak Spanish as well, and then like I get that too. Like there's certain words I just want to go off in my Spanish ways, like praserita. That's not how you say it. That's like how it goes in my head. I just want to go off. Yeah, gotta hone it in. And then Laura, can you also help with the last one
The
there?
L, so the L is rarely ever used, but it's a ri. It's hard on its own. It's a
Ri.
ri. It's like the L. It's like an L and R kind of combo. But I wouldn't stress about that one because you will rarely see that one. It's there, but it's you're fine. The hardest part is going to be just going through the alphabet with saying it. Yeah. So
Would you be giving the first three vowels again? I just.
yeah. So it's a, I, u. Yeah, the line over is going to change it and make it long. So that's always going to give you information about the word. When you see it written with those diacritical marks, it's going to let you know, oh, is this a long or the short sound that I'm looking for?
Mhm.
which is nice, right? It gives you a map. It's like, oh, here you go. Instead of English where you're like, eh.
Mhm. Okay, and so we're gonna go down a little bit further. So under the simple vowels, we have the diphthongs.
Diphthong,
Sorry it again.
diphthong.
Diphthongs. Okay. And we have the E, so it's vein or gate. That's how it's said in that English word, but a, yes. And then we have I, so that's how you said it, just like aisle or high. And then we have O, just like open. And then ow, and it said like out or loud. Yeah. Right. And then let's jump down to page 20.
Those last two things.
Well, we're on just looking at the like comparison words.
Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong page.
Yeah, so we're going to from 19 to 20. Yeah. We'll come back to those other two. Okay, so then we have ka, that's like paprika. Then we have oh gosh, how does that one, can you remind me?
The
The
second one?
Yeah, the second one.
Ka. So
Ka.
it's aspirated. It's
Okay,
just
so
aspirated.
more air within it. Ka, like ka. Yeah, to me, Kate, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't really.
Whenever you see that the H with a consonant, you're basically aspirating it. So you're giving just a little bit, pushing a little bit more air into the word.
Kind of like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a
Mhm.
good one. Yeah.
Like the word dharma, right? DHAR, you know, it's not dharma, it's dharma. There's that H there. So you use air more in Sanskrit, but again, you get hints. It always will give you this little hint of like, and here you go.
Yeah.
So you don't have to read the Devanagari, but through the transliteration, it can help you out a little bit.
All right, moving on. We have g, so it's a harsher g, like gate. And then we have g, so we're adding that little bit of air. So it's g, g, g. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the words don't really feel the same to me in the mouth. So I think just like knowing that H is that airiness of the word. And then the last one on that row is nya, nya, nya. So if you speak Spanish, that little squiggle above the end, the enya, is a nya, nya. Yeah, ink, ishtanga.
I know it gives you that tip. So guttural, think, I want the sound to come from back here. That's to give you kind of a clue to where in the mouth to start to initiate that sound.
And then next up there we have let's see, cha, cha. So going to palatal, that one is cha, cha. It's a harsh ch, like chakra, chakra, or chuck. So you said chuck your chakra. So don't chuck your chakra, but that's just a good way to remember it. Yeah. Yeah. So like just the sharpness of it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, C's are, whenever you see C in Sanskrit, you pronounce it cha. The k sound is for K's.
Yeah, C's are always ch. And then CH is more of that airy sound, so cha, 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 like chew. Yeah, it's a little bit softer. Okay, and then next up we have ja, like jump. Yeah. And then the next one, a little more air. So ja, 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 like hedgehog. Ja. Yeah. Right. And then more of a sharp nya. So pinch. Pantanjali. All right. Feeling good? All right. Going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got quiet on that one. All right. So a little bit harsher and that nya, nya, nya. Yeah.
Compare that to the above one and like.
Yeah. So the top one there with the I or the dot over the N, nya, nya. And then the second one's more nya, nya. Yeah.
Think about where in the mouth. So
Yeah.
Ashtanga, we're going back, Ashtanga back here. And then Patanjali is a little more forward. With
So
that,
think of
right?
that like moving from the back to the front. So we start in the very back and then we're moving more forward. So nya. Yeah. All right. So yeah, if that's a good thing to remember too. So look at each category and you'll see, okay, it's in the palatal category. So where it's telling you exactly where your tongue should be when you say it. Okay. All right. Next row. We have ta, ta, ta. Yeah.
So roof of the mouth again. Ka.
And then a little more air. Ta, ta, ta. Yeah, like tongue. And then we have da, 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 dig. And then more air to it. So da, 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 da. Yeah. Like red ha, red, like red hair. You don't do it as emphasized as that, but just helps to like kind of say it in that way. And then last one on that row is nya, nya. Yeah, like pint. Nya. Yeah. So similar, so those last two in the end, they kind of feel the same, but it's just where you put the tongue on the roof or on the mouth. No. All right. All right. The hardest one. No. It is actually the dental. It's I don't know, retroflex is probably harder, but the dental. So we have ta with a, so put the T or the tongue at the T, so ta, ta, yeah. And then adding more air to it, so it's the ta, ta, ta. So also keep note whenever you see the TH like that, it's very common for our brains to want to do that sound like thorough or whatnot. That is not a way of pronunciation in Sanskrit. It's always just that ta, adding more air to it. So
Yeah,
no.
like this word right here.
There you go.
Anybody seen that word before?
So it's never hatha. And you hear people say hatha all the time. It's sharp. It's hatha. 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 Yeah. So right at the front of the teeth. Hatha. Hatha. Yes. All right. All right. Okay. And then going down just a little bit further, we have the. That's tongue there. And then the. So little the, little extra H there. The. And then the last one. So tongue still at the teeth. N. Yeah. Okay. All right. Row 5, we have labial. So that is just pa, pa, span, spot. Okay. And then we have pa, pa, pa. So it's not fa, no PH, fa, pharmacy. No, it's just pa. Yeah. And then we have min, soft. And then with the H, up, like abhor. That's a good one. Yep. And then we have lastly on that line, ma, yep, mumble. All right, cool. Any questions on any of those?
So as long as it doesn't have, I'm sorry, I know I'm talking.
No,
As
you're
long as
fine.
it doesn't have an accent at all over the A, it's always like a up. It doesn't have the dot or line.
Yeah, it's just, it's soft, yeah.
Okay, so like asana, then,
Cause it's sa, na.
okay. So I was asana.
Yeah, and it's asana, asana. Yeah, good catch. Yeah, it's like those A's are us. Sorry, I know it gets, it's like, wait, what? Yeah, think.
Thank you.
We have to reprogram our brains a little bit with that.
Mhm. Yeah. All right, and then next category there, we have semi-vowels. So under that palatal category there, we have yeah. So again, soft. And then we have that retroflex variation, and it's more, it kind of has like a R sound, so it's like a rah, yeah, rah. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tongue at the roof of the mouth.
Rah,
Rah,
rah, rah. So again, kind of finding that little bit of Indian accent. Rah, 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 rah. No rolling. Don't get carried away. Okay, and then that labial sound. So this one I have a really hard time. Blah, blah. Is that correct? Blah.
Wait, well, dental's
Oh, did I skip over
Yeah,
dental?
dental.
Okay, the dental. La,
like Lakshmi.
La. la. And then labial.
So this,
La.
the V in Sanskrit is like a in between a V and W. So it's like a wa. So you may sometimes see it written V, you may sometimes see it written W.
Wah.
They're both correct
Mhm.
based off it. So it's like Saraswati, you will sometimes see it with a W or with a V. Both are correct. Cause it's kind of like, if it's like if you put those two together and they had a little baby, that is how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's like a wa kind of a
Yeah,
sound.
and I think that too, this can also be, I think, a dialect thing too.
Mhm.
I was listening to a Sanskrit scholar once, and they always said the W as a V
Mhm.
for everything. So it was always Saraswati and so forth. So kind of like Laura said, sort of combining them. So it's not a harsh V, it's not a harsh W, it's kind of sounding. Yeah. So yeah. All right. And then last one on that one, we have like so you'll have the example swan or veil. Yeah. Okay. And then we have sibilants. So going down to the next row, we have sa,
Sha.
oh sha,
It's a
it's more sha.
Mhm.
Okay, sha, like shavasana. All right, and then we have tongue on the roof of the mouth. So sha. And sha. And then the next one is sa. So we don't have an accent mark, so it is softer. So sa, something we're more suspect of.
So I always look at that rule for me is like, when you're first learning it, if there's no diacritical mark, then you go the S sound. Otherwise, give it some kind of a sh. And don't get too caught up in like, is it sh or kr? Like, it starts to get, until you get more comfortable with it, don't get too caught up in that. But know that that's like a nice way to delineate the two.
And then last one, huh? So like how, huh? Huh. Okay. And then on the very tail end there, we have the ksh sound, ksh, like Lakshmi, Lakshmi. Yeah. And then this one is a hard one, because it doesn't look at all like how it's said, and it also comes up a lot. So it's has that nya sound, nya, but you will also hear it as gi. It's like
Yeah.
gia, gia.
Yeah.
So you'll see this word. This is an N. All right, this one. I don't actually, I
No
don't think
H.
there's no H. All
And I
right,
think that accent's over the A. No. Yeah.
no. The other A.
Mhm.
All right, so this one, this is when you start to study Sankhya philosophy, this is Jnana, is how this one is said, Jnana. So it is the yoga of wisdom. Jnana.
You'll get to this chakra.
Yes.
You said yoga wisdom.
Yeah,
It's
yoga
wisdom.
of wisdom. Yeah. Jnana. So that's an example of, you can spell it like G-E-E to like kind of
So on the board.
right here. Jnana, with the accent over the A. Jnana. Jnana.
And that's
Wisdom.
wisdom.
Wisdom yoga. Or yeah, just wisdom. Okay, so so that one's more challenging. But yeah, you'll see it in specific words. So yeah. Yeah. And then at the bottom there, you just see there's no Sanskrit equivalents to the English F, TH sound, Z or ZSA, Z, Z, Z. I don't know what word that comes from.
Ja.
Ja, ja. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
zhuzh, I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to this top or page 18. And we're gonna look at those symbols and we're gonna go back through and we're gonna go through each letter and I'll say it and then we'll repeat it. Okay, so looking at the letter and knowing how to phonetically say it. It's okay. A.
No.
Oh, oops, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. E. Or sorry, E. E. U. Ere.
Re,
Re.
ri.
Ri.
Is it ri or kri?
It's re,
Re.
ri. There's no G.
Re.
Okay.
Ri. Letta. Is that right?
Ri.
Ri? No, for the next one.
The L,
The L.
it's l.
L. L. Okay. Those ones are, yeah, I'm still working on. All right. Going down to the next line. A. I. O. Ow.
Um,
uh,
So,
uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Let's repeat those one more time through. All right, just so we're clear as mud. All right. Ah, eh, e, u, re.
Ri. Ri.
Ri,
Lera.
lera, lera. Okay. Lera. All right, next row. A, I, O, uh-huh. All right, and then ka. Oh, we're gonna go into the next one. So, all right. So next row, starting at that row 1, we got ka, ka, ga, ga, yeah, cha, cha, ja, ja, yeah. All right, going on to the third line or second line. Ka.
You just did that.
Oh, we just did that one. Okay, third line. Ka, ta, da, daha, na. All right. All right. So then we got ta, ta, da, daha, na. Perfect. All right. Last line there. We have pa, ha, ba, baha, ma, ya, ra. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
We have la and ba.
Oh yeah. Ra.
No, la.
Oh, la. And the WV-ish sound, so w. Yeah. Okay.
And then the sibilants.
All right. So yeah, getting there. I'm just trying to line up my notes with what we're doing. Okay. All right. So we have sa, ha. Okay. Cool. All right.
No, there's 3 sounds, 3 S sounds.
Oh, right. Okay. So going back, let's start that last line over one more time. So we have sh, s, sh. So tongue on the roof of the mouth. Sh, sh. Yeah. And then sa and ha. Okay.
Can I ask a question about the 2 shus?
Yeah.
The second one is the roof at the top of them.
Yeah. So the first one is, so it has the 3 underneath it. It shows the retroflex cerebral. So it's the palatal sh, sh. And then the tongue on the roof of the mouth is that sh, sh, sh. Yeah.
So the one with
Sh.
2 underneath it, you say it.
That's palatal. That's
Palatal.
not all the way back, but a little bit forward.
And you
Sh.
Sh.
shut.
Mhm.
Sh, sh,
And then
One with 3 underneath it would be.
Shra.
sh, sh.
Shra. You're pulling your tongue way back to the roof
There's
of your
like
mouth.
almost a hidden R in it. Sh, 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 sh. Yeah. Sh. Yeah. But like Laura said, don't get super hung up on it, just as long as we're trying to really emphasize that sh sound. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions about those? Anything? Okay. All right. So fun fact, when you look at the Vishuddha chakra, I almost said it wrong, chakra, the 5th chakra, so in the throat, the yantra of that chakra, so the symbol of it, it's the blue lotus flower, but within it is all the vowels within the Sanskrit language, which is just kind of cool, just kind of neat. I thought that was a fun fact. Okay. So you can always go back to these charts here when you're learning, or if you're wanting to incorporate Sanskrit into your teaching, you can always, or like if you're just, you can always ask other teachers, but if you're trying to figure it out on your own, you can always come back to this and piece it together, and that's really helpful too. All right. All right, so we're gonna just kind of talk about some mispronunciations within words. Oh, we want to take a break? Okay, let's take a little break then. All right, yeah, we've been at it for an hour now, so how long of a break should we take? All right, we'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Yay. Okay, we're back in it. That's like my move for hot yoga when everyone's like "Blah, blah, 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 blah," on Monday night, we do that, and then everyone knows that it's time to start class. All right. Okay, so jumping back in, we only have about 40 minutes, so we're gonna kind of power through this next couple of things. Okay, so all right, let's get to page 22 in the manual. We have common mispronunciations. All right, so we talked about asana. It's not asana. We talked about chakra. It's not chakra. All right, so based on what we learned about phonetics and our diacritical marks, how do we say that next word in the list? The one right below chakra. There you go, kappa, exactly. So you might hear people say kapha. It's kappa, kappa, kappa. And then you said the next one. What was it? Hatha, beautiful. All right, what's that next one? Ananda, correct. Yeah, really important one there. So that line above the A is saying it is that word. So Ananda is bliss. Oh, if we were to take that line away, it would mean the opposite of what that is. So not bliss.
If you said Ananda, you're saying no bliss. No bliss for you.
Exactly, right.
So it's Ananda.
Ananda,
Ananda.
Ananda.
You say no bliss. It's
Ananda.
It's Ananda.
Ananda.
okay.
Ananda, bliss, Ananda, no bliss.
So you have the word ahimsa, which you all may have heard, and if you're reading True Yoga, definitely, right? It's not ahimsa, it's ahimsa. And that means without harm. That means no harm. That A means without. So that's where it does become important. of that
Ahimsa,
pronunciation.
no harming. Ahimsa, or harming.
Yeah.
All right. All right. The next one, does anyone want to take a stab at? Yeah,
Yeah,
very close. Yeah, Ganesha. Ganesha. Does everyone know Ganesha? Ganesha, want to say?
Yes, the god of things like this, son of Durga.
Shiva.
Shiva.
Shiva. Shiva.
Shiva.
Shiva.
the
Yeah,
goddess.
yeah. Yeah, he's the one that's portrayed as an elephant and remover of obstacles. All right, next one. We're getting into some gritty stuff here.
This is Cobra pose.
So
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if that was right.
Yeah, say it again.
so a little harsher with the J though. So a little harsher with the J. So it's Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana. Yeah. Bhujangasana. Yeah. Yeah. So it's also like
It's
there's
not
no like
sha.
ja. There's no ja sound. It's ja. Bhujangasana. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I might say that incorrectly sometimes in hot yoga, but that's also because it's over 110 degrees and I'm like Bhujangasana. All right, we have the next one. Anyone want to take a stab at it?
So standing wide-legged forward fold.
Even that alone.
All right, let's take a look at just that first word.
Say that again. I heard it somewhere.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita. Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
It's not on the E. The accent's not on the E. It's not margarita.
Prasarita.
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 So close.
Yeah. And then the last one in that same word, pa do
Do.
tanasana.
Pado.
Pado tanasana.
Pado tanas.
Yes.
And the first word is
Prasarita. Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Prasarita.
Sarita. Prasarita.
Prasarita. Pado tanasana.
Yes. Yeah, and so just take it at like 2 or 3 letters at a time. Don't like get overwhelmed by the whole word. Just take your time with it. Look at just a couple letters at a time. Sound it out. All right.
There's two consonants like that, you like just one at the end or one at the end of the start or like that.
I mean, it's padottanasana. So you don't go padottanasana. You don't separate it. It's together. Yeah, they just kind of come together.
Just an emphasis, maybe a little bit. Padottanasana.
Pado tanasana.
Perfect. All right. I'm just gonna say them just so we can get moving. All right, so we have Supta Pada Konasana. Supta Pada Konasana. Supta. Supta Pada Konasana.
Reclined, bound, angle pose. So reclined, bound, angle pose. So you're lying down.
So any poses that are reclining, you'll always see Supta. Supta.
Yep, that's it.
Supta.
Yep, you got it. That was it.
All right, this one's really fun. Samasti Tehi. Yes, I love that, Josh. That was great.
I've been hearing a lot of this and I had no clue what was happening.
All right. Next one we have Chaturanga. Chaturanga Dandasana. Yeah. So that yeah, Chaturanga Dandas. Yeah. So we're just right here. Chaturanga. 4-limb pose. All right. Chaturanga Dandasana. Yes. So chatur, so that first part of the word chatur, or it's actually chatur, is 4. 4.
Anga is angle
Yeah. Chaturanga Dandasana.
or limb, sorry.
Yeah.
What was that again?
Chatur's 4, anga, limb. So 4 limbed. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then dandasana is staff pose.
Yes. All right. Then we have Viparita, or I said too much R there. Viparita. See, I have to check myself. Viparita Karani. Yes. So that is like waterfall or legs at the wall pose ish. Yeah. Roughly. There's argument on it, but yeah. All right. And the next one, Ustrasana. Does anyone know this pose? Ustrasana. Where my hot yogis at? Yes, there you go. Yes.
Trying to give you a hint.
All right. Dhanurasana. This is also a very common one.
How do you say that?
Dhanurasana.
Done or asana.
Down.
which is bow pose.
You'll often hear danur. There's no Y.
Danyu.
So it's danurasana. Danurasana. No ya sound. Danurasana. Danurasana.
Danurasana. Danur.
Yeah.
Danurasana.
Mhm.
All right, and then last but not least, we'll break this down slowly. We have pash, chi, mo, tanasana. Paschimottanasana. Yes. Paschim. So remember that S with the mark is a sh. So paschimottanasana. Paschimottanasana. Yeah. But try to let it blend a little bit more. So it's not paschi, it's paschi. Paschi. Paschi.
Mhm.
Paschi. Paschi. Do you know what's this pose? Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold. All right. I don't know the breakdown on that one.
It's westward stretching pose is what it technically
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, so coming down to page 23, so just one page down, we have vocabulary words. Okay, so we're running a little tight on time, but we won't go into every single word here, but I want you to just to take a look at it. So let's go through the first few right here. So we have eka is one, dwe is two, or you could say, I've always heard it as dwe, so that V is more of a W. Three is three, so it's very common. Chatur, four. And then we have hasta is hands. So like hastasana is hand, or it's a pose that has to do with the hands. Like there's hasta pada tonasana, hasta pada tonasana.
Padahastasana.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Padahastasana. All right, and then pada foot. Pada is foot. Okay. All right, and so we won't go through every single word. But if just a couple ones that are maybe a little more challenging, we have shirsha, which is head. You'll see that. Shirsha is head. Shirsha. Utthita is a very common one. We have, yeah, Utthita Trikonasana. Yeah, so that's extended triangle pose. Yeah. Yes. You'll see Parivrita there just below it. So we have that our vowel vrita. Vrita is revolved. Yeah. And then you'll see urdhva a lot, which is upward. And of course, downward facing dog, you'll see adho, adho, adho. Yes. All right. Does anyone see any other words there that they are? Which one? Oh, the knee. Janu. Janu. Yeah, I was like knee. Yeah, Janu, like Janu Shirshasana.
Because what shirsha? Anyone remember? Head. So knee to head pose.
Yep. So this one right here.
Oh, right. It's like, oh, it's not just some random sound. Like there's meaning. It's like, oh, it means something.
Yeah.
Basically, different cues.
Head to knee pose.
And what I would say too, for me, like, it's so good to learn this because like we went to Paris this last year and we went to a class in French. I don't speak French. I say bonjour, merci. Like, there we go. Croissant. Like that's like the extent. The basics. And so we go to yoga and she speaks in French, but anytime she said Sanskrit, I sure knew what to do. I was like, I didn't have to look. I'd be like, she's all Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm like, I know where to go. Right?
French and Sanskrit.
Yeah,
It's
just like
French is her language.
but that's her language. That's like you speak English and Sanskrit, like it's so this will help you.
Mhm.
And the same thing happened. One of our students, she was in teacher training last year. They went to Spain and she's like, I got inspired. So when we went to Spain, we did yoga in Spain and it was so much fun. She's like, I didn't know everything that was being said, but it was great, and
Yeah.
but if you know some Sanskrit, it's gonna help you.
Mhm.
So Sanskrit still, you said it's still spoken like as a language?
It's like we talked about, it's like used a lot more in like in a medical or spiritual religious sense, but it's not the main spoken language.
It's not
Yeah.
like a conversational per se, but it is still around and it's a yoga. It's a style of yoga that people practice. And it may be
Mhm.
like a lot of you do, you're learning asana.
Mhm.
Their focus is Sanskrit and not yoga, the sound of yoga and really delving into that.
Mhm. And I did an Ashtanga training, and when you do Ashtanga, a lead class, for example, it's all Sanskrit. There's no English words of poses spoken, and they're very specific in the breath count. And so the breath count goes from 1 to I think 25, the longest it goes, and it's all Sanskrit numbers. So you have to learn those numbers. I have forgotten them, but yeah.
Oh, you have your hand up.
Yeah, can you go break down the difference between the words that you say when you go to downward dog and when you go to corpse pose? Because to me they sound the same, Shavasana, like Adho Mukha Shavasana and Shavasana.
Oh, yeah.
It's spelled differently, but
Yeah, I think, is it
That's Shvanasana.
Svanasana?
Which one is that?
That's down dog. Adho
Shva,
Mukha Svanasana.
Svanasana. So there's no A between the S and that V sound. Shva, shva.
Versus Shavasana.
There's no B.
There's a V, but it's Shavasana.
So it's like SAV is Shavasana. And then for downward dog, it's Svanasana. No A between the S and the V. Yeah, Svanasana.
So there's an extra syllable in corpse pose. Shavasana. Down dog is Svanasana.
Svanasana.
Mhm. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
See how there's Shavasana, Svanasana,
Which one is?
corpse.
Corpse. Down dog. Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana.
So one is Shav.
Shavasana. Mhm.
And the other one's
Svanasana.
Svanasana.
not.
There's no shava. There's no shava. It's just Svanasana.
Shva.
Or am I throwing it?
So say the top, just the first sha.
Shav.
Okay, just say that sha.
Shav.
And then this one, shva. Sha, shva. Get it?
And then the second one has an N also, but the top one doesn't.
Correct. Mhm.
So like downward dog would be like a swan, basically, swan.
Svan.
Svanasana. Mhm.
Sounds German.
To me, it sounds Russian as well. Svanasana. Svanasana.
Do you see that? Do you see the so like, here's the difference of Svana, Shavasa. It's just different. That order is different.
It's like a spaghetti's, I can't even say it wrong.
Tomato, tomato.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti. People like flip those, they can't say spaghetti, so they say spaghetti.
Oh,
Yeah. That was.
All right, so getting back on track. So how are we feeling about it? We're kind of getting a little, we're getting a little handle on it. Okay. Why do you think this is all really important to teach in yoga? Why is it important? Just-
I think intention, because when you're learning the language, it already has the cues in it now that I found that out. That's pretty great. So if you're learning it, and you have the intention of like, okay, head to toes, hands to feet. You with the language, it's that kind of flow that you already have. And prana, so you already have that with it. It's not just with English, it's very forced out, you guys said, and so having it as more of a flow with both your voice and vibration and your body, I think that's really effective.
Is it also kind of like when you're translating, kind of like with the Bible, right? If you're translating an ancient text, you don't want to translate a translation. You want to translate from the original.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This gives authenticity to your teaching. And just, you know, if you're constantly mispronouncing Sanskrit words, it's going to just kind of take away from your practice. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to put it into application. So if you go down to 24, we have our full cambio sequence right here within the words. So what do you think? Should we go through each word or should we break off?
Let me see. How long does it take? I feel like maybe we should do Om real fast and then come back.
Okay, should we come
And then
back?
just get as far as we can.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. All right, just kidding. We're gonna jump a
Sorry.
little bit further. We're gonna jump
Throw
back.
C off.
All right, so we're gonna jump back to page 21. We're gonna just talk about Om real quick. All right. Yeah, so what do we know about Om? Just right off the gate. What is
it represented with the crown chakra?
yes. Yes, that is the bija sound of the crown chakra. It is a sound of the universe. So that vibration that's within all things. It is the sound that the rishis heard when they were deep in their meditation. And it's also always used as an invocation of a mantra. So if you'll see a mantra, you will see Om as the beginning of it and usually at the end as well. So it's just like we are calling forth this mantra and this is how we're sealing it with Om. So we're going to break down that sound of Om. So if we look at that AUM, it has that sort of roll coming from the belly. So oh, so we're bringing it from the back to the front. So think belly through the heart and up and out through the mouth. Just try that out. Just see if you can just, instead of it just being right in the front of the mouth, just feeling it roll all the way up the body. Yes. So that some different ways to think about is like Brahma, the creator, the beginning. It's, and then we have the U, which could also be next in the triad is Vishnu, the middle path, the creator, or it's not the creator, the preserver, sustaining. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Shiva, the destruction, completion, the end. So we can think of it as beginning, middle, end, wake, dream, sleep. That, yeah, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Yeah. So just to give context into the full spectrum of Om. Yes. And so when you chant it, if you get to a place where you feel comfortable chanting it within your class that you teach, you always want to end with silence right after it and just absorbing the resonance, the vibration of Om. You don't want to chant Om and then go, thanks guys, thanks for coming, see you next week. let it sit, let it resonate, let it kind of feel that external vibration. So always remembering that 3-part practice of out and up and in. Yes. Is there anything to add with that?
You may hear it I mean, it's typically it's right, when we do it, but when you break it down, there's an a ooh, and the sound within there. So you may sometimes hear someone chant it like because when the A and the U kind of comes together, that it becomes that O sound. So that's why you may see it that way. And I would say I'm curious, who would feel comfortable leading this when you're practice teaching? Ooh,
Nice.
yay. To be like, okay, let's chant everyone, right? Like that. And I would encourage you to, start doing it now, like trying it out to see how it feels. Cause it's just like all the things that feel awkward right now as you're learning them and trying to get the words out, it will get easier as you do it. And so years ago, we used to do, we all come to class and practice teach different sections. And I'll never forget one of the Kate Johnston, who teaches some workshops around here. She had come to class and she was teaching the beginning of class integration. And I was like, okay, Kate, go ahead. And she's like, and we're going to chant Om. And I was so proud of her because I know that it can be a little scary to like give that a try, because you never know what's going to happen with the crowd out in front of you when you chant Om. You might get everyone go, that, right? They just might barely say it, or you might get and you just roll with it. It's like, that's their journey. And that's,
You always want to be the loudest one though.
yes.
You want to be like, you can't be the teacher and just be like,
yeah, don't be too shy. You gotta let your voice come up and out and project. So, yeah.
You hold all 3 parts the same, like,
Like if you're working through all 3, yeah, try to let those vowels, like let them build.
Do you have a mudra for it that you would recommend?
I either would do like Dhyana Mudra here with the right hand on top, thumbs touching, or I would do Anjali, hands at heart center. Oftentimes I'll do hands at heart, but you can be like inhale, be like, oh, you can have them bring it like the ends with hands at heart center. Like you can kind of play around with it, but I would do this is the most common one you'll often see at the beginning, the invocation of this. So Anjali or Dhyana, both are like meditative. This is like a mudra for meditation, so it's a nice one.
Okay. All right. Let's jump back to page 24. We don't have a ton of time, but should we just go straight?
Let's just go through it.
Just go through it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go through it really quick. Starting at the top, we have child's pose. We have balasana. Yes. Thank you, Joss. Okay. Then tabletop. Some of these you don't hear people say in chakra or in very often, but tabletop we have chakra vakasana. Yes. And then cat pose we have marja la. All right, I have to marja la asana. So that's that.
And nobody really ever says
Marjalasana. Yeah.
I would say cat and cow, you usually will just hear chakra vakasana, and that lets people know where to go.
Next up, we have cow pose. We have Vidalasana. Yes. And then downward facing down, we have Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yes, nice job. Okay, then Uttanasana. Then Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Yeah. Samastitihi. Yeah. So that he is the echo. When you see the H like that, it's the echo of the vowel before it. Stitihi. Just like shantihi. So it's the echo of the vowel. All right. Standing halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Okay. Kumbhakasana. Bhujangasana. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Yeah. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's just repeat after me. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yes. Just break it down. All right, and then we have Anjaneyasana. Yep. So now J, it's Anjaneyasana. Yep. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Yep. Virabhadrasana. All right, and then we have Uttita Parshva Konasana.
Falling apart there a little.
Okay, let's break it down. Okay, so Uttita Parshva Kona Sana. Parshva Konasana. There you go. Let's say it all together. Uttita Parshva Konasana. Nice job. Viparita Virabhadrasana. 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 Okay. Supta Pada Konasana. Konasana. Okay, one more time. Supta Pada Konasana. Yes. Navasana. All right. Setu Bandha Shvarangasana. Sarvangasana. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. There we go. Parivrita Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Uttan Pristasana. Perfect. Vasistasana. Or Vasishtasana. There you go. Garudasana. Padahastasana. Bakasana. Yeah, so that emphasis on the Bakasana. Bakasana. Yes.
Even in the name.
Uttita Trikonasana. There we go. Prasarita Padottanasana. Nice. Uttana Konasana. Or it's also a goddess is Devi, so Devyasana. Ustrasana. Ekapada Kapotasana. So Eka is one, Pada is foot. So Ekapada Kapotasana.
Kapota is pigeon, so one-footed pigeon.
All right, locust pose, Shalabhasana. Shalabhasana. All right, Paschimottanasana. Much better. Ananda Balasana. Yes. So remember that A, Ananda. Yes. Jatara Parivartanasana. Parivartasana. Yes. Was that close enough? And our favorite Shavasana. Yes. All right. Okay, so
Yeah, so,
When you do Virabhadrasana, am I saying that right?
Mhm.
The warrior, do you say Virabhadrasana 1 or 2 or 3, or should you say the number?
yeah, say the number.
you could,
Mhm.
I mean, I would usually just say Virabhadrasana 1 or 2. I
Okay.
mean, it just depends, like, you could though.
Is that different in different lineages? Like, would you say the,
No, even in Ashtanga, that's like the one time they'll say English is like Virabhadrasana 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about if you go to India, they probably say it. Eka, Virabhadrasana, but yeah.
But it's all a variation of the warrior,
Yeah.
and that all gets tied into a whole mythology of a story or of the warrior.
that's
Yeah.
the Gita?
No,
No,
there's a warrior in the Gita, but that particular story,
that story is quick one. Parvati is dating Shiva. Her dad is mad and doesn't invite him to the party, and Shiva is the destroyer. He gets a little angry, has an attitude about it. So he doesn't come. She gets really mad at the party, throws a tantrum, and bursts into flames. Because that's what one does. And then so she dies, and then Shiva comes to the party and realizes that she's dead, sees her ashes, gets really angry, grabs one of his dreadlocks, slams it down into the ground, into the ashes to go through, to which a warrior then comes up and out from the ground, has an axe, chops her dad's head off, and it goes rolling to the ground. She then comes back to life and sees that he has killed her father. And she's like, wait, that's extreme at this point. So then he's like, well, okay. And he sees a goat, chops a goat's head off, picks it up, places the goat's head on top. So you get warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3.
That's fire. What you know about storytelling? Huh?
That's a real quickie. That's a variation of a version of the story, of the mythology. Yeah.
Was about the readings that you guys suggested have that story?
there's a book called I think it's called or mythology of the asanas or something like that, and it's a really cool book because there's pictures in it too, and it like tells you the stories behind a lot of the different poses that you'll see, like fish pose and Marichasana and lotus, and yeah, so that's a really cool book.
What was that?
I think it's mythology of the
Let me look it
of the asanas. This book right here, Learn to Write in Devanagari Yoga Vatran Nam. There's one more piece to it. All right, so this book, so if you're interested in really diving deep into Sanskrit and learning how to write it, learning how to get into the translation of it, it's by Zoe.
It's in here. It
Yeah.
should be listed. as
Okay,
part
it's
of there.
listed in there. Okay, I don't have to write the whole thing. Yeah. All right, and then another resource, if you're interested, she has a Spotify. So if you want to listen to some practice on Spotify, you have Manorma.
She's one of my teachers and she's amazing.
Manorma. She has a website called sanskritstudies.org.
And she has a whole one of her, if you go to her Spotify, she has one, if you look at her different albums, one of them will go through and literally pronounce the alphabet. It pronounces a lot of common words in Sanskrit in there. So which is really helpful.
Thank you.
And then there's another one, Language of Yoga.
That's in here. Oh, that's this book right
Yeah.
here. Manorma.
And then Language of Yoga. And then we have tumi.com, I'll write it. This one's nice because it also has a lot of resources for yoga teachers, sequencing ideas, whatnot. Tummee.com. And yeah, so they have resources on pronunciation. Myths of the Asanas is the book we were talking about. And then there's the Yoga 108 app. You can listen to people speaking specific words. If you have specific questions about specific words, it's another good one. And another book that I really, really like, I forgot to bring it today. It's called the Radiance Sutras. And I've been really diving deep into this book, Radiance Sutras. And it's really cool because it has everything listed in English, and then you have it in Sanskrit, you have it in the Devanagari, and you have it phonetically in Sanskrit. So it breaks it down in a way that you can just sound out the words. And it has in the intro, it gives you a really beautiful philosophy on learning Sanskrit. And it's just a really, really beautiful book and resource. So Radiance Sutras is what it's called. Wow. Okay. That's time. Yeah. So that sounds great. And now you get to study ethics.
Okay, so what I will say about this with Sanskrit is don't be afraid to try. Now is the time to practice. There's no getting it wrong at this point. You know, it's like the thing that will hinder you is if you're like, I'm just going to wait until I know all the other stuff. If you wait, you will not learn this stuff. Start now and pick like one word, like every time you get together for a practice teach, pick like one of the asanas that you feel comfortable saying and do one that is a little bit challenging. So just like try like slowly adding them in, and through time, you're going to get more comfortable with them, and you can help each other out with it. You know, flashcards are always really helpful with this kind of stuff too. So playing around with that and have fun with it. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah. No one needs you to be perfect with it. For sure. Yeah. Okay. Great job, Missy. Good job. Let's take 10. Let's take 10 minutes. Okay. And so then we're going to switch gears. So move around, get a snack, whatever you need to. We're going to switch gears. Meek will be here in a minute, and then we'll dive into going over the Cambio sequence and ethics. So it's a very random hodgepodge of things this morning. It's where we're going. Okay. Stop that.